Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Today's Monday, May 22nd. It is 6:19 right now. Market's going to open in about 11 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. If there's any issue with the sound, guys, just let me know. I'm in my new office right now. I just set up my first time going live in here. So I need to make sure that the settings are proper. So I just got to make sure, test everything out, make sure everything's good. If there's any changes, I can make them. So just let me know if you guys can't hear me or if I'm too low or if I'm too loud. And we can make some adjustments. So just a heads up, guys, I'm not going to be having the mentoring session today. It's got a lot of stuff to do, so I'm still moving. So I'm going to push back later this week. But I will post up a poll so that you guys can vote for which day you guys would like it. All right, it's good. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. Looks like we are good to go. All right, guys, morning, everybody. I'll give a few more moments for people to make their way in, and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. So as people continue to join in, I'm going to go ahead and mark up news price. Let me check the news calendar real quick. I don't think there's much news today. Yeah, there's not really anything today for US, so we should be all right for the most part. I know there's other news coming up later this week, though. So we got Fed Barkin speaking at 7:50. So towards the end of the session, we might just cut out a little earlier. 7:50 over here, Fed Barkin's going to be speaking, Fed Bostic is speaking, and then Fed Daily is going to be speaking right after. So we got a couple of Fed members speaking today, but other than that, there's no other news events, for this morning. So we should be good to go. All right, guys. Morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Today's Monday, May 22nd. It is 6:22 right now. Market's going to open in about 8 minutes. So I'll give a few more moments for people to make their way in, but let's see what's here so far. So let's see. Looks like Kenny's here. Morning, Kenny. Morning, Daniel. Morning, Andrew. Morning, Søren. Morning, Beth Harwig. Morning, Martha. Morning, CJ. Morning, D. Morning, guys. Morning, Patricia. Morning, Akash. Morning, T. Morning, Nick. Morning, AR. So guys, if there's any issues with my mic, just let me know. I just moved into my new office space. So everything here is my first time trading here. So I don't know how the settings are. So if I'm too loud or if I'm too low, just let me know. My mic's kind of, it's angled differently from how it was before. So if I need to make any changes, just let me know. Yeah, no, I'm here, Dan. I'm still in the process of moving, guys. So unfortunately, I won't be having the mentoring session today. I'll post up a poll for when you guys want to have it, but I just won't be able to have it today because I need to finish moving. Pretty much done for the most part. It's just getting the last bit of stuff here. Yeah, my office space is a lot bigger. It's pretty big, so the acoustics might sound a little different. I just want to make sure the volume and stuff is cool. CD said, I think you need a sound panel or two. Yeah, possibly. The office is really big, so the acoustics are kind of just bouncing off the walls. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. I think the my Blue Yeti kind of it adapts to it though. So like once I keep speaking on it, it'll just adapt to the acoustics here, and then it'll sound a little better. Okay, perfect, D. Gotcha. Yeah, if that's the case, I might just close one of my doors, or my windows here are pretty huge, so I'll just close that too. All right, guys. So market's opening in about 6 minutes. Let me go ahead and mark up liquidity real quick, guys, because that's like basically the main strategy that we're applying here on open. I'm gonna go ahead and this is a previous liquidity from last week. I'm just gonna delete it, clean it up right there. Let's start off by marking up liquidity here on the daily time frame. So as you guys can see, if you guys have my high-low indicator, it's very simple to mark up this liquidity. There's not too much guesswork. You pretty much just mark up the high lows that have not been tested. So it is not too difficult here. Done with the daily, go down to the 1 8-hour. I'm gonna leave that alone. It's a little too close. It's probably gonna be marked up on the lower time frames anyways. Typically I want about 4 to 5 candles to pass after the high low in order for it to be established. But typically if it's not available on a certain time frame, then it'll usually be available on the lower ones. So this one right here is fine. It wasn't there on the 8, but it is here on the 4. All right, looks good. Go down to the 1 hour. Go down to the 30-minute. $15-minute. And lastly, the 10-minute. All right, this is too close, so we're not going to mark that up. But other than that, I think we're good to go, guys. So let's go back to the 1 minute over here. All right, so we got liquidity on both sides right here, as you guys can see. It's pretty close to this area down here. It's pretty close to both areas, actually. So we got liquidity down here. And we got liquidity up here. So let's see what happens. I don't think I'll be able to put a pending order because it's just too, it's just too close. So I'll probably have to do this manually. As price, obviously moves along. All right, guys, so market is opening up in about 3 minutes. We got liquidity on both sides. See where this ends up going. Thanks, Andrew. Andrew said there's a 83-point price difference. Let me check again real quick. I'll check myself too. So price from 33,482 minus 33,408. Yeah, so it looks like it's fluctuating a bit. I'll check it again shortly. So it looks like about 74 points when I checked it right now. Andrew earlier checked 83. It's fine. It's just a slight difference. 33485 minus 33408. Yeah, it looks like it's about 75 to 80. So somewhere around that's a gauge. So just want to be a little careful putting a pending order, guys. You're probably better off just entering manually because the price difference is kind of screwed right now. Yeah, it is changing frequently, like Andrew mentioned. So I want to be a little careful with that. All right, guys, market is opening in about 1 minute. Let's take a look at the overall bias real quick. Looks like the shorter time frames are pretty much bearish. 1 minute, 5-minute, 10-minute, all bearish. 4-hour is neutral, 1 hour is neutral, and the 30-minute is neutral as well. So it looks like we might have a bearish bias on the shorter time frames. I don't know how it's going to be on the higher time frames, but shorter time frames do look a bit bearish. We'll see where this ends up going. But you want to be a little bit careful, guys, because today is Mondays. You guys know Mondays and Fridays are probably the riskier days to trade because people are either entering the market on Monday from the weekend, or they're exiting the market on Friday for the weekend as well. So, all right, guys, market is opening in about 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. The market is now open, guys. So let's see where this ends up going. Watching price right now. Let's see what's going on with this here. See, I'm getting some errors on my MC4. See what's going on with this account. Oh, I see. Okay. All right, guys. So unfortunately, if this hits right here, I'm not going to be able to enter it because I just got a payout on my account, and I just realized that they didn't pay me out yet. So if we do get an entry here, let's see if I can maybe enter on my phone. But the account is disabled right now temporarily. And that's my main account, so I can't even copy anything. I should have checked it before market opened, but I was busy this week. So yeah, I'll try to enter manual. I'll just try to enter on my phone, but I have to be a little careful with this here. See, it's going to move a little quick. Yeah, I didn't even check that. Yeah, because I requested payout over the weekend, guys, and I didn't even realize that they didn't process my payout yet. So my account is currently unusable, my main account. See if I can maybe get in on my other account though. Let's see, I got a few moments here. I can just quickly log into it. I just want to be able to use my copier. All right, so while this is kind of bouncing around, I'm gonna try to play with my copy real quick. I gotta make a bunch of adjustments right now. But yeah, guys, there's no entry yet for the liquidity. Prices kind of just going back and forth. There's a liquidity below and there's a liquidity above, but there's no specific liquidity for us to enter right now because price has not touched, either area. So right now, one of my payouts is being paid out for my FTMO. It's weird because they processed one of my accounts, but not the other one. So only one of my accounts is working right now. I don't even know which accounts with. This one. See, price is pushing up to that area right there, guys. Yeah, brick roll right there. So liquidity right here just got hit. Great. It didn't even take a proper lot size for me, so I didn't even get the full move, guys, unfortunately. Kind of locked me in for like 0.01 lot size. So I'm like in there for a penny. All right. Well, it looks like some of you guys got in and out already. Some of you guys just went in for like a quick 100 pips, which is perfectly fine. As I mentioned earlier, guys, Monday is like one of those riskier days to trade. So if you guys aren't comfortable, taking risk, you guys are more than welcome to go for 100 pips, or you can go for a smaller lot size. I didn't even get to take it with my regular account. I had to take it with, it was just a penny lot, because I'm going back and forth between the accounts right now. I was trying to set up my copier, but unfortunately I wasn't able to get it in quick enough. But you guys can see how the market moves kind of crazy right here on Monday. This is normal. That's why Monday and Fridays are usually the riskier days to trade. Yeah, it looks like majority of you guys pulled out already. So if you guys want to pull out, you guys don't feel comfortable with the position, feel free to pull out. No judgment. It's just the market is moving kind of crazy right now. I'm just going to set an alert here so I know when price reaches that point. But yeah, if you guys are comfortable with your profits already, feel free to pull out. It's up to you guys. If you guys want to hold on to it, or if you guys want to pull. Let's see where it's currently at right now. Looks like it's going to push through. If anything, I'll move my stop loss in profit. So you don't really have to worry about anything. All right, stop loss is in profit already. Yeah, so if you guys want to move your stop loss in profit, I've done it. So I pretty much guaranteed my position already. I'm only in on one account. The other account didn't, I wasn't able to copy over because I wasn't able to set it up in time. So, we'll see where this ends up going. Let's see. Nice. Rick said you guys TP at 200 pips. Yeah, if you guys want to go for partial, it already hit 200 pips. So if you guys went for 100 pips, it would have hit your full TP. If you went for 200 pips, it would have hit your full TP. It looks like I got stuff down profit already. All right, so it looks like I'm out of position, guys. Yeah, it's just a little bit of a jerky move here on open. It's kind of hard to tell where price is going to go because it just kept bouncing around. So I decided to be safe with it and just pulled out for partial profits on this specific move here, which is perfectly fine, guys. If you guys don't feel comfortable about a position, just pull out for partial profits or move your stop loss and profit like I did, just to remove the risk, because this type of market is just very unpredictable, right? Can't really predict when and where price would hit, because usually the TP would have been hit by now. If you guys have been taking the liquidity with us, typically right away go straight to TP. You can see right here, and it did go straight to TP right there. Oh shit. Okay, so I actually double dipped into the position, guys, and I locked in almost full TP on it. My small one, I don't know what happened here. I guess it spiked up. My small one actually gave me 31 cents. It actually went straight to full TP. And then I double dipped into it as it came back up. And I pretty much locked in majority of the profit off that one account. So there goes the liquidity push, guys. As you guys can see, this is why we like the strategy. A lot of people ask me, like, why do I prefer the strategy over others? Is because you can take one trade here and you're pretty much done for the day. I locked in about 6,020 off that trade, and then off my first one where lots I was kind of screwed, I got 31 cents. You'll see the green strip on it. Let me see if I can get my phone. But full TP. So if you guys take it for a partial move, that's good. If you guys take it for the full move, that's good too. Don't feel FOMO, guys. If you guys didn't take it for the full move and you kind of like are picking yourself because you wish you would have held it, that's fine. You know, you're better off getting some profit than having a loss. So let me just take a screenshot of my profits real quick. I just have one account today. My copiers didn't copy because my main account's still getting the payouts getting processed over the weekend. So unfortunately, I couldn't copy the trades over. It's just one account. So yeah, if you guys have prop to post up, feel free to send them in. Otherwise, there's a liquidity right there, straight to full TP. This is why this is like one of my favorite strategies at the moment. And same with everybody else, because I take like, you know, calculated risk on this trade. And I actually entered this trade really late. You guys will see the profits right here. And I'm going to show you guys shortly. And I basically got in like at halfway because I got caught in slippage. So it's all good. You know, whether you guys take 100 pips, 200 pips, the whole 300 pips, it's all good. So Andrew over here locked in a total profit of 1,460 full TP on that liquidity push. Great work right there, Andrew. Kenny over here locked in a total profit of 1,260 for the day, full TP as well. Nice work, Kenny. Great work, Kenny. 1,260. And I'll post up my profits here as well. So my account, unfortunately, is only on one account. I kind of bummed that as one account, but that's my first trade here in the new office. So first new trade here, locked in 6,000 off it. You guys can see the first trade here. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to, the quick trade manager didn't lock in my new lot size, so it gave me a 0.01. It only locked in 31 cents. And then here's my other account. You can see the slippage. We're not really slippage, but I entered late because I double dip back into it. When it pulled back down and it shot right back up, I knew this thing was going to shoot up, so I just re-entered the position. And then I locked in a total profit of 6,020. So for today, I'm up 6,020 and 31 cents. Just one account today. No copiers were copied. But you can see my entry point here. I got in like at about 9 points after, or 8 points after. It's all good. If I got in at the actual price, this one right here, I actually would have locked in like maybe 7,000 or 8,000 because of slippage, because it gave me more. But it's all good. I'm gonna take what I can get right now. Today's Monday. It's a risky day to trade, so profit's profit. But there goes my my account right there. Usually I don't get greed, guys. So usually I don't double dip like this, but I knew that position was going to shoot up. So the reason, and here's the reason why. Let me show you guys real quick. So when price pulled down right here, I saw the V1 variation setting up, right? So price pulled down right here, and I saw the double body, and I was like, okay, if this thing continues to push up, it's going to blast right through. This is the V, it's not a V1 variation, but it's a double body rejection. It's a reversal pattern, basically. So price pushed up, and this is what I saw. Price pushed up, pulled back, double body, correction back to the upside. Because I already knew price was going to push up. This was just the pattern that I saw, right? I saw right here, this is a reversal pattern. Price pulled up, retraced, double body, correction to the upside, and then blast right through a TP. So there's just little intricacies like that like you guys will start to see when you guys continue to watch me trade live. It's hard for me to explain to people because I don't want to confuse people that think that every double body is an entry point. It's not always that case. But if you have a bias for a bullish bias, if you have a buy entry running already, price pulls back, retraces. If you see a double body, it's probably going to push up and just, you know, continue blasting through it. So that's the main reason why I took the double dip there, which I typically don't. Let's see. Let's see, that guy said if it ends up coming back down to liquidity below, then it will it'll probably be a good move. see. Hussein's asking, why did not send a pending order? Sorry, so I'm not sure what your question means. If you want to rephrase your, I know English is not your main language. So if there's if you want to rephrase it, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Because we don't send signals. So I'm not sure if you're asking for a signal or if you're asking a different type of question, but there's no signals here. Oh, for me. So Dan said, I think he meant, why didn't you send a pending order? I don't know if you were paying attention to what happened in the beginning, but I had to switch my accounts around. My main account that I copy my trades from, I have a payout that's processing for it. So I try to take the trade, or I try to set a pending order. And I don't know if you guys saw the pop-up right here. It said the trade was disabled because the account's currently not usable. So I wasn't able to put a pending order for that specific trade. I would have put a pending order if I could have, but I couldn't because the account wasn't working. I actually tried, and then it gave me an error. So yeah, unfortunately, alignment's fine. I still got into the position, but I couldn't set the pending order. Javier is asking, hey, what's your trend meter settings? My trend meter settings are set to chart, Javier. It's so if you have your default settings are set to intraday settings, guys. So if you go to default, it's gonna, or actually, yeah, if you go to default, it's gonna be at 30-minute, 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour. We're not really trading intraday, so in order to put it to regular, just go to, or just like for scalping, just go to here and click on chart, just put chart for everything. And then you click OK. And then it's going to provide you the trend for whatever time frame you're on. So we're trading on the 1 minute. It's going to give us a trend here for the 1 minute. All right, price is coming right back down, guys. It just knocked out this liquidity right here. I'm not going to take this position, but this is the next level of liquidity right there. It looks like it's already pushing down a profit. I think it already probably hit TP by now. Almost. I'm not in this position though, guys. You guys can see how crazy the market's moving. Very erratic pushes up and down. Basically a push to the upside, fake out, came back down. So this is a bit risky because this can be another fake out, right? There's a fake out here, fake out there, and then possibly another fake out here. But this might hit TP before it fakes out. So right there, straight to full TP on this liquidity push, guys. TP and this can easily fake out and shoot right back up. So just be careful if you guys are taking these other liquidity pushes. If you guys are going to take it, I would typically take it at at 100 pips. Hussein's asking, how do you decide TP stop loss? Our TP stop losses are based off data. So I back tested the strategies. I figured out what's the best TP stop loss. Right now, the market's not too super volatile. So like the best TP stop loss for these secondary 1 minute moves are like 100 pips. They help you get in and out of positions without any problems. Whether they be slippage, whether there be spread, that's a little too wide. 100 pips is like a sweet spot. Anything above that, you can get caught in trades where you get stuck in them because of the spread, or sometimes price doesn't even reach those points. Sometimes price just ends up, faking out and then reversing on you. And then if your spread's too wide or if there's slippage, you're probably not going to get pulled out of the position. You'll probably be stuck in it and trapped. And then, so like, for example, here, right, if you went for anything more than 100 pips, you'd be trapped in this position right now. You'd be in some massive drawdown. So that's why I have these TP stop loss set at a fixed TP stop loss. I've done enough research to determine, what's the best TP stop loss for the specific market condition. The market's always changing. So if the market's more volatile, then we'll use a wider stop loss or TP. And if it's not really moving as much as it normally would be in the past, then we would make it tighter. We're entering summer, so the volatility is dying down. It's not picking up, it's getting slower. For this specific strategy, Hussein, yes, that's the TP stop loss. Each strategy is different. So like you have to go back and rewatch the videos, or you can ask me, directly which strategy, but different strategies have different TP stop loss. But for this one specifically, for the first entry, Hussein, we go for 300 pips. That's why for this one, I was able to lock in, 6,000 on that. So I went for 300 pips on the first one. So the first liquidity push, Hussein, is 300 pips. For the ones following it, they're 100 pips. The reason for that is because once you hit the first area of liquidity, that's usually where the volatility starts to die down. And then you just go for a quicker move. You don't go for the full 300. Technically, you can if you really wanted to, but I wouldn't go for it because you can see right here that it becomes a bit risky. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this drops another 300 pips and it just keeps going lower, right? Because if you're going for 300 on this one here, it's just a bit more risky. So for this one here, if it does drop further, which it probably will eventually, it's going to come and retest the next level of liquidity down here. Right. So there's like another target area down here. So it'd probably hit, but for me personally, from my experience, it's better to get in and out quickly. And then if you want to enter the next one down here, you can always double dip into it to like take the other portion of the move. Hussein's asking for first liquidity, 300 pip TP stop loss. And yes, so for the first one, it's 300 pips for both TP and TP stop loss. And then for everything after, it's 100, 300. And for every day for the first liquidity push, it's typically going to be 300. The only time I don't take it, or if I'm a little more careful, is if there's news around that time of entry. So if there's news before or news after, I typically will either go for only 100 pips or I just won't take it. Because when you trade when there's news going on, then price is typically reacting to the news, right? Like, for example, if price spikes down and then there's a news event, or say there's a news event, price spikes down, and then you have your liquidity push, price can fake out, price can continue dropping a little bit, and then a little bit later, it'll just end up reversing on you. So the only times to be very careful about taking these liquidity pushes, or any trade in general, is when there's a news event around, because price is going to react to news one way or another, whether it reacts in a way that it's supposed to, or whether it's manipulated and does the opposite. All right, so let me scroll up real quick. Hussein said, yes, ideally better to set a pending order. Yeah, so I would ideally set a pending order to avoid slippage, but you're probably still going to get slippage either way. The only reason I would prefer to do a pending order is because I wouldn't have to worry about hitting buy or sell, because sometimes you enter it late, and if you have a pending order, you're not going to enter it late. You're going to enter it when you're supposed to. All right, let me scroll up real quick. Yeah, no problem, Hussein. I'm here to help you guys out. So like, if there's anything that you guys need help with, just let me know. There's no other entries available right now, guys. Let me go ahead and clean up this chart. This is the our main chart for the high-low momentum scalp. There's a higher high right here. There's a sell signal, but it didn't break and close past the pivot, so there's no entry there. We may have an entry here for a high-low momentum scalp if we get a lower low and price breaks and closes above it with a buy signal. So a couple different opportunities here that may come up. We just don't have anything here yet at the moment, so just got to wait for another opportunity here. So again, guys, as I mentioned earlier, Mondays are one of the riskier days to trade, so just be careful. You don't need to force anything today. You have a whole week ahead of you. So don't try to enter a trade for no reason. If there's a valid entry there, then, go ahead and take whatever you need to take, but don't try to force anything. It's not necessary. All right, here's a clean chart. So I'm just going to mark up all the charts right now, guys, so that you guys have an idea of like what's going on in the market today. 6:30 and 8. I got opening price right there. Here is the main chart. Opening price right there. There's no news today, so there's not really much for us to mark up here. Liquidity right here. So this trade already hit CP, guys. I'm not going to count this trade. I'm only counting the trades that I take. So just an FYI, guys, there's going to be a lot of entries that come up here, whether it be the strategies that we're applying officially or the strategies that we're not. I'm only going to count the trades that I take personally. So I want to be transparent with you guys. I know there's ways that I can just say, oh, these trades hit and stuff, but I'm not going to count them. The only trade I'm going to count is the one I took, which was this one over here. This was a liquidity push that I took. I have proof that I took the trade. We went over it live. I mentioned I took it here. I took an accidental small lot size, but I doubled it back into it. So the only trade that's going to count for today is going to be this one, because I actually took it. This one here hit too, but I'm not going to count it because I didn't take it. I feel like transparency is key in the trading space. There's a lot of scammers out there, so you guys want to be careful with who you guys are getting information from and whose trades you guys are copying from, because I just, people always message me about getting scammed from some trading guru or something. It's horrible. The space is filled with like so many sketch people. So you just want to be careful when you guys are following somebody. But yeah, I'm only going to count the trades that I necessarily take. So this one right here is probably gonna hit full TP, but I'm not going to count this trade. I gave a couple of different breakdowns for Hussein over here. I said, this would typically be 100, 300 move. But if you wanted to go for a 300, I mean, technically it probably hit, and it did hit right there. So full TP again right here. I'm not going to count the trade, but I just wanted to show you guys and give you guys the option. So again, right here, guys, the next target price point is going to be this area right here. So this is going to be the next area of liquidity as price pushes down to this point here. Price hits this point, you want to be careful because price is a bit overextended, right? So if you want to go and measure price from like way up here to down here, you can see that price is pushed down about 1,600 pips. It's pushed down a lot. So it's going to have to retrace, right? So if you guys are looking at this liquidity, I probably would not take this trade. I wouldn't recommend taking it, because what I expect to happen right here is I expect some sort of retracement to happen. So here's a couple different scenarios that you guys can look for. If you guys really want to take this liquidity right here, I would recommend that you wait for the retracement to happen first. So you actually want something like this to happen. Price come down, retrace, come down, maybe pull back a little more. And then if it comes back down right here, then at this point, then take the entry, right? Because the last thing you want to do is enter a trade, it pulls back and then it stops you out before it hits TP. Or what might happen here, this is what I typically see happen. When price is overextended like this, I typically see price hit liquidity, goes sideways, goes down a little more, pulls up super hard, and then it comes down. So if you want to do something like that, I would probably just wait for it to fake out, pull back, and then have like a sell stop there. So when it comes back down, it'll blast right through and hit your TP. So just want to be a bit careful with this here. Question from Hussein. Hussein's asking, or he said, you're very transparent, Sean. Thanks. Yeah, no, definitely. That's my main goal here, to be transparent with you guys and to make sure that you guys are all profitable. So right here, this is where, let's see how this plays out. Next question from Hussein is, so basically not all liquidity pushes are equally the same. Yes, or equal same quality. They're not all the same, Hussein, because you have to, I know it's hard for me to teach like market structure to people because a lot of the stuff is just from experience, but I've seen these patterns play out a lot where like there's a lot of fake outs and then it ends up coming back down. So they're technically the same quality. It's just sometimes you're going to get like riskier moves. Like for example, right here, this thing is still dropping super heavily. So this would have hit your TP. This actually didn't retrace, but it may retrace over here. So the same thing that I drew right here might happen over here, because there's so many levels down here. So right here, we'll see if this pattern kind of does what I just mentioned right here. Typically, if it doesn't play out on the first one, this is like, a fluke where price drops to the next level. And then right here, see where this big wick is coming up? It's kind of doing my pattern right here. It kind of came down a little bit. Now it's pulling back very heavily because it's overextended. So I think the main thing that you guys have to look out for is just overextension. If price is pushed down like more than 1,500 pips, and that's like where price is definitely overextended. I think right here, prices dropped down like 2,000 pips already. All right, yeah, 2,180 pips. So at that point, it's like, okay, price can't continue to drop forever unless something's going on in the world. Like if there's a news event going on, then okay, at that point, then yeah, maybe you should be a little careful because, a lot of this can just be manipulation from news. But right now there's no news event going on. So not exactly necessary right now, but you can see how the pullback is playing out right here. It's pretty much what I was expecting. You can see my markup right here. So if you were to enter this trade later, I would look for price to consolidate and retrace. And then if it comes back down, then you can make a late entry for this, liquidity push or whatever you want to call it. Let's see, Javier said, Sean says, be on the same page. Which is the chart or the name of the chart? Mine has different candles. So we're on a YM right now. YM is the same thing as US30. I mean, it's the same thing. Candles should be pretty much the same if you're a US30 or YM. Like if you were to go to US30 right now, it's the same thing, right? Same exact candles right here. So the only difference would be price, Javier. That's the main difference. YM right here, same exact candles. You're either on YM or you're on US30. If you're on like NASDAQ, then okay, your candles are going to look like completely different. So I don't know what candles you're on, but let me see. If you go to NASDAQ, then yeah, you're definitely on some different chart. But YM and US30 should be exactly the same. But okay, so the retracement is playing out right here, guys, like I mentioned. You guys can see here that I marked up. This is what I was trying to warn you guys about up here. It didn't actually play out up here, but it did end up playing out at this level right here. So if it comes back down and it hits the area, then I think this is going to like blast right through. Oh, okay, Javier, I see what your problem is. I'm assuming you didn't pay for YM, right? Because if you didn't pay for YM, you can see over here on my screen, it says market open. On yours, it probably says delayed. It's probably yellow and it says delayed because you have to pay for YM. YM is not free data. We get this data directly from the exchange. That's why I pay for it and I use it because this is like the fastest, most accurate data that you can get for US30 or YM, whatever you want to call it, same thing. Yeah, Javier said, it's like $5. So like if you want to get really serious about US30, it's only $5. You'll have like the best data because you're getting the data directly from the exchange. You can see over here it says CBOT, Chicago Board of Trade. You're not getting this data from any broker. So it's like pretty much raw data. All right, so guys, right here, the retest of that liquidity push that I marked up for you guys looks like it already went straight to TP. Yeah, blasted right through to it. So you guys can see right here the markup that I marked up for you guys. Price pulled down, retraced up, and then it blasted right through. And it did exactly what we anticipated, like how I drew right here. So I've seen this pattern like 100 times, guys. Like I've been trading US30 every day for like 5 to 7 years now with you guys live. So these patterns they're not new to me. I see these patterns every day. So, you know, I'll try to identify a little better, you know, I'll try to identify these. I know I haven't given you guys these breakdowns in the past. I just pretty much mark it up, but I'm going to mark these up so that, or I'm going to try to mark them up so that you guys can see, you know, my thought process. Because in my head, I can see this stuff, but it's hard for me to like explain it to you guys because I think this is common sense. Like if I don't have to like really think about it, I look at the chart, I'm like, okay, retracement is probably going to happen here, or retracement is going to happen here. But I don't necessarily feel like I have to tell you guys, but I'll try to tell you guys if I can, because I gotta realize that you guys aren't able to see what I see. Like I just look at the charts and I'm like, okay, I can read this because I've been doing this for so long. And I only trade US30, so it's like the same pattern over and over and over again. Nice, Essa got it. Kenneth said played out exactly how you marked it up. Yeah, no, definitely. I should have taken it. I missed it actually. I was gonna put a sell stop here, but I was kind of trying to explain and then I missed the trade, but it's okay. I'm glad that like a lot of you guys here did catch it, but that pattern just, it happens every day. So it's nothing special, guys. It's just, you have to understand how a specific asset moves. That's why I like trading US30 because I've been trading it for so long. It's like simple to me. Like I don't have to think about it. I'm just looking at it. I'm like, okay, this is going to play out or this is going to play out. Again, right here, if you guys see how price moves around this area, look for the retracement, right? Price is overextended. So look for like a messy, you actually want to see a messy movement. Like you don't want to see a straight push down. Like you don't want to see this, because if you see this, then the trade's probably not going to work out. So if you see this happen like this is probably going to be a fake out. It's going to pull up super hard and come down like that. But if you see a messy drop, so if you see price come down a little bit, pull up, range for a bit, consolidate, pull up, then come down, then this is a good one. You want to see something like this where it's a mess. A lot of people actually don't like this. When they see a mess, they're like, okay, the market's not moving weird, I'm going to sit out. But I've been trading this for so long, and I'm okay, when I see a mess here, this is when people are scared. This is when you got to take chances, because this is usually where you're going to see the breakout. That's why a lot of our liquidity pushes, when I take the trades, guys, it's like a straight breakout. It goes straight to TP within like 1 or 2 seconds, because I already anticipated the breakout and I get in exactly where we need to. So it's okay. I missed the trade there, but I'm fine. I'm already up 6,000 for the day, so I'm not worried about it. missing a trade or two. I mean, it'd be nice to have another 2,000 there. So if I took the 100 pip push, I would have made another 2,000 profit, but I'm not going to get greedy. Today's Monday. There's no need to get greedy today. I had a whole week ahead of me. So I got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to make trades. And that's the thing that you guys have to think about as well. When you guys are trading, don't get greedy. So I feel like greedy is like everyone's worst enemy. If you guys start to get greedy, that's where you start to make mistakes and you start to force trades that aren't actually there. My charts were kind of met, or my whole setup was kind of screwed up for today because my copier isn't working right now. So that's why I'm not getting greedy, because I know if I get greedy, I'm going to screw up like one of my accounts. So I'll look for trades. If I see something good, I'll take it. But if I don't, then I'm not going to force anything. There's no need to get greedy today. We got a lot of news events coming up too, so that's going to be a big plus for us. Lots of increased volatility. Question from, oh yeah, no, definitely Javier. It's good to see you back here, bro. It's been a while. Question from Hussein. Hussein's asking, does it come with premium trading view? Unfortunately, it doesn't, Hussein. So for market data here, you have to pay for this separately. It's just extra market data. It doesn't come with a premium trading view. I thought the same thing too. So when I first started using it, I was kind of confused. I was like, why am I not getting the data? Because I was paying for the premium. But you just have to pay like an extra $5, like $60 a month, I think, for YM. Because the cost goes straight to the exchange. It doesn't go through TradingView. Because you're basically just you're asking for premium data, which is not available to everybody. Unless you have a broker that pays for it for you. Sometimes they pay for it for you. CJ said 3 liquidity pushes in one day. Guess the market is making up for Thursday and Friday. I know, right? That's literally what it is. Yeah, exactly. Esther said we have weeks, months, years to build up to what we need. Yeah. So guys, just take it as a, when you guys are trading, just see it as a long-term process. It's not like something where you're going to be getting rich overnight. Well, I mean, technically you can, but you can't get greedy. That's how people blow accounts. All right, so there's no entries here, guys. There's no more. The next area of liquidity is going to be down here. It's about, let's see. It's about 900 pips away. It's not super far, but it's also not super close. 800 pips. Okay, so it's not, yeah, it's not horrible, but it's not anywhere close. Here is the clean chart. I'll mark up the high point right there, that you guys can see where the high point and low points are currently sitting. So as you can see, price is starting to go sideways now. This is a good thing. You actually want this to happen if you guys are looking for liquidity. There's no high level momentum scalps. Price is just consolidating here right now. Here's some more profits over here. So let's see, we have Kenny over here, total profit of 2,750. Kenny took the second and third liquidity push right here. It's a great profit right there, Kenny. Great profit for the day. We have Dave over here, total profit of 120.98 for the day, all wins. Nice work, Dave. Let's see, we got Dave over here, earlier profits, 42.26, all wins. Kenny over here, 2,700, all wins as well. We had Kenneth over here, had a little bit of a mess. So Kenneth said a little messy today, but finishing in profit. So he had a couple accidental losses. It looks like might have entered a little too early or just kind of, taking trades that he shouldn't have taken. But either way, he locked in a total profit of 1,380. Looks like you might have just had like your trailing stop a little too early, or you just kind of just pulled out a little too early. Okay. But it's all good. You're still in profit. So total profit of 1,380. Looks like if you didn't take these mistakes over here, you would have had all wins, but it's all good. It's a little messy, but you still made profit. So that's the key thing. All right. Price is dumping. It's getting right close to the, so you guys see this breakout right here. This is why I like to see consolidation and range. Because when you see a consolidation phase like this, it's going to lead to a breakout. And we already know where the breakout's going to happen because we have liquidity marked up. So for this right here, guys, I wouldn't take this area of liquidity. I know there's liquidity right here, but I wouldn't take it yet because the breakout already happened. It's not there. So what I want to see here, or what I would want to see is I want to see a messy move here again. Because I think price is going to pull down to this point, fake out, pull back up, and then pull back down. So I think this here would not be a good entry, immediate entry to take, in my opinion. All right, we have Wesley over here, total profit of 515 for the day. Nice work, Wesley. Solid profit right there. We got Nick over here, said going to be done for the day, be back tomorrow. Total profit of 430 for the day. Nice work, Nick. Yeah, solid. All right, so I think those are all the profits for the day. If you guys have any more profits that you guys want to share, feel free to send them in. Otherwise, we'll continue on with our analysis and see if we can find something else for today. You guys can see how the fake out is playing out right here. This is exactly what I just mentioned, right? So I wouldn't have taken the trade right here. Price is going to fake out. It's going to pull back a little bit. But if price does come back down, it's probably going to blast right through it. You want to see a pretty hard retracement here. All right, this retracement is cool. This is what we were expecting. So the retracement is playing out right there because it's overextended. Yeah, huge retracement. And then you can probably just watch and wait for it to pull down a little bit. SSA got rich one day, then lost it the next day. It took me 2 years just so I can be consistent in earning money. I know it happens, Essa, but I'm glad to see you're back here too. Andrew said probably gonna establish a new higher high. That's probably what'll happen. Andrew will probably establish a new higher high and it'll correct right back down, or it'll provide like a V2 variation or something like that. So, all right, guys, we currently have all right, sorry, actually, I was gonna look at this as a high low momentum scalp, but I don't see any entry here. There's a lower low right here. However, this candle already broke and closed past it. So in order for you to have an entry here, you need the candle to break and close past pivots 1 and 2, and you need a buy signal to be there as well. As you can see right here, this candle right here broke and closed past it, but there was no buy signal. So there's no entry here for a high low momentum scalp, at least not at the moment. So what you might want to look out for is the correction back down. So as I mentioned, there's retracements playing out right here. If price comes back down, then it's probably gonna blast right through it as it retests liquidity. But pretty much the same thing, the same pattern from earlier. It's just a really stronger retracement. Question from Hussein. Hussein's asking, hi, Sean. Just wanted to ask if it is okay to take a trade with 100 pip TP while stop loss is 300, since it will take. Yeah, I mean, we've been doing it for years, Hussein. That's how we trade. It works as long as you're taking the proper positions. If you're taking every single trade, then it's not going to work for you because not all the trades are going to hit. But the win rate for these strategies is so high. And if you're able to analyze the charts like I do, like we rarely lose, right? I don't think so. Let me see. For the whole month of May, we've had 0 losses. 12 wins and 0 losses for the whole month of May. So, if you have a win rate that high, then yeah, it's okay to take a negative risk reward as long as you're not taking like dumb positions. If you're taking positions that are quality, then you're going to be fine because you're going to win every trade. But if you're taking every single trade and you're not really analyzing and you're just kind of praying that they're going to hit, then, a negative risk reward is not going to work for you. That's why you see a lot of people who trade and they use a positive risk reward because their strategies don't have a high win rate. So it's fine. There's not one way to trade. If your strategy doesn't have a high win rate, then you just do a positive risk reward. If you have a high win rate and you barely lose, then negative risk reward works. So, and it's not 4 winning trades, it's 3. Hussein, because 300 minus 100, you need 3 to cover that. So 4 basically making a profit, but to reach break even and be 3. And if you have that many winning trades, typically like last week, how many trades did we have? Last week, we had 4 wins and 0 losses. So either way, you make profit every week of May if you took every single trade. And these trades here are not necessarily 1 to 3. A lot of these have been liquidity pushes, so those have been 1 to 1. So you can pay, you basically take one liquidity push and it'll cover profit for like one of the scalps, if not more. So just something to keep in mind, guys. You know, there's no one way to trade. There is there's thousands of ways to trade. It's just figuring out what works for you and you know, sticking to that type of game plan. So, all right, there's no entries for us here right now at the moment. Yeah, exactly. Hussein said a high win percentage is good for psychology as well. Yeah, for me personally, like the way that I like to trade is I like to win, right? I don't like to lose trades. I don't like losing in anything. Like even when I was an attorney, I don't think I ever lost a case. Like I would fight that case to like the death, even if I was to like, if I knew I was going to lose, I would still go all out. So for me personally, my type of trade psychology, guys, is I don't like to lose trades. So for me, I go for a high win rate and I win almost every trade. I can't handle losses. Like I don't like losing at anything. So for me, that's why I trade this way. It might not be the case for you. You know, for you, you might be okay with losing. Like you could be okay losing like 10 trades and then having one trade that pretty much covers all those losses. That's not me though, so it doesn't work for me. So it's just up to preference, guys. If you guys are okay with losing, then you know maybe you guys would want to go for a different risk reward with a lower win rate. But if you guys like to win and you guys like to win all the time, then you know my style of trading is probably gonna be for you. Because we rarely lose. I don't want to jinx it, so I'm not going to keep saying, but we don't really lose too much. You know, for this whole year so far, we're currently up 72 wins and 11 losses. So if you were to do the math for my win rate for this year so far, and these are all live trades. So if you were to do the math and identify, so 72 wins divided by 83, right? It's total trades. Currently for the year so far, I have an 87% win rate. And these are all live and documented trades. So you guys can see my win rate is pretty high. And that just goes it just goes in line with my trading style. I don't like to lose. So win rate's pretty solid right now so far. And this is why I'm like very cautious about what trades I take. Like if you guys look at my trades here, there's probably like 5 or 10 trades that will come up and I'm only going to take like maybe 1 or 2 of them, the ones that I feel really comfortable with. All right, so there's no entries for us right now, guys. Price is still pushing up. There's no high-low momentum scalps. Again, if you guys are new here, there's only 2 strategies that I'm really following right now during these types of market conditions. It's the high-low momentum scalp. And then the liquidity pushes, mainly just the first one, because I like taking the first one. It's like a pretty easy win. Just a quick profit, and I could be done for the day for the most part. Typically, I'm trading with like 5 accounts, so I would have, today I only locked in 6,000, but 6,000 times 2, I'd make 12,000 times 3. I'd be up like maybe like 15 today. It's all good. Or not 3. I'd be up like maybe like 24 today, but it's all good. I'll just take 1 profit for the day so far. Let's see if there's anything else over here. All right, guys, so I see kind of a couple of questions over here on the YouTube, guys. Sorry, I haven't looked at the YouTube all day. But since we don't have anything to look at right now, there's no high-low momentum scalps, there's no liquidity pushes. I'll just take a quick glance at the YouTube. Let's see. Edwards says, congratulations on the profit. Next trade, could you say when you're going into the trade? Edward, we're doing the same thing every day. So if you want to see what we're doing, just rewatch the previous live sessions. I'm pretty much just rinsing and repeating the same process every trading day. So nothing here is different. Trades happen too quick, so I can't tell you exactly when they're going to come up. You have to understand like what we're doing to take these trades, because we're scalping here. I can't tell you like, okay, wait for this thing to happen and then enter this trade, or I can't say enter or buy here because the trade's happen too quickly. So if you want to rewatch the sessions, just go to our, so here's the thing, Edward, I'm assuming you're new here. If you're new here, go to our website, kodikaitrades.com, click on unlock your free access right here. If you click on this button, it'll give you access to the course where you can rewatch pretty much all the strategies. It'll tell you exactly, you can follow which one we're doing. If you want to learn this strategy, there's like a ton of videos on there explaining this. And if you want to see the liquidity pushes, I would recommend going to our previous mentoring session. So again, if you guys are new here, go to the website, unlock your free access. And then if you want to rewatch the previous trading sessions, just go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/KodiKaiTrades. And there's like years and years of different live trading sessions. I do the same thing every day. So if you know what I'm doing here, you could be able to anticipate the moves. And then also watch the previous mentoring sessions, because this strategy here, the liquidity push that we took earlier today, where I locked in this big profit, I've been covering it in detail in the past 5 mentoring sessions. So you go back to the most recent 5 mentoring sessions right here, and these sessions are like 2 hours long, an hour to 2 hours long. So it's deep explanation as to like how these entries are taken. So yeah, Edward, if you want to rewatch that, watch those sessions, and then you'll be more prepared tomorrow when we do this again. So we're gonna do the same thing again tomorrow. All right, other than that, let me see. Question from Bianca. She's asking, are you on the 1 minute chart? Yes, the one over here states that we're on the 1 minute chart. So this will be the time frame right there. That's how you'll know what time frame we're trading on, which is the 1 minute. See, Glenn's asking, will you take a high level momentum scalp for a buy if it comes up? Yeah, I mean, possibly if it was down here, Glenn. Probably not up here because it's kind of far up, but if it did come up down here, I would have taken it. Possibly. Because I would have seen this nice push to the upside. I know there's no V1 variation here. There's like a V2 variation, but it's a reversal pattern to the upside. All right, looks like volatility is pretty much dead now. As you guys can see, it's 720 right now. Candles are not really doing too much. They're just going sideways. So it looks like the pushes from this morning are pretty much done with at the moment. Yeah, Hussein's are responding to Essa. Essa said he hates when he wins. He hates that he likes to win all the time because it's a big reason for revenge trading. Yeah, if you like to win all the time, guys, you have to also be able to control your trade psychology, as in stopping when you have a loss. Like for me, for example, guys, if I ever lose a trade, I'm usually done for the day. That's why I take a calculated risk. Like for example, this trade over here, I took a 200 lot. If I lost this trade, I would have lost 6,000 and I would have been done for the day, because I could only lose 10,000 for a day, right? So if I was to lose this trade, I'd be like, okay, that's about it. That's all I'm going to do for today. Because if I took anything more, I could potentially blow my account. So yeah, Hussein's telling Essa, to check out Trading in the Zone. Yeah, that's a really good book. That's the book that I recommend to everybody. There's a couple good books that you guys can check out if like trade psychology is one of your problems. Trading in the Zone is like number 1. One Good Trade is like a second one. There's a lot of books. If you guys need any book suggestions, just let me know. I got a whole list of books that I listen to. Right now, I'm currently listening to Trading Wizards, or Unknown Trading Wizards. If you guys haven't heard of that book, it's basically like interviews with some of the best traders in the world that like nobody knows about. That's why my trading gets so good, because I try to figure out what other people are doing and I try to mimic it, or I do something similar. There's a lot of ways to trade, guys. It's just, figuring out what works for you, because not everything works for everybody. All right, there's no entries for us right now, guys. There's a sell signal right here that broke and closed past the pivots 1 and 2. However, there's a lower high here. In order for us to have entry here, we would need to have a higher high, which we don't have yet. So there's no entry here for a high level momentum scalp. This would be a pivot scalp though. So if you guys are familiar with this type of entry, this is a pivot scalp entry. It might even be a momentum scalp entry as well. It already hit CP. So I don't know if anybody caught that, but this here would have been a pivot scalp entry. Nice. That's actually caught it. Sweet. Yeah. So as you guys can see, there's other strategies here that you guys can apply. I personally don't apply them right now because I'm focused on just 1 or 2 strategies, mainly the high level momentum scalp and the liquidity push over here. If you guys are curious what entry came up right here that Essa took, that's called the pivot scalp. So you guys can see my list right here. I have about like over 30 strategies. So like, for example, if I wanted to apply any of these they all work perfectly fine. This would be a pivot scalp right here. Overall bias. Let's take a look at the overall bias for today. Bearish here on the 1 minute, bearish on the 5, bearish on the 10, bearish on the 4, neutral on the 1 hour, and bearish on the 30-minute time frame. So looking over here at the technicals, you can see that we have a bearish bias, right, with regard to the shorter time frames and for the most part the higher time frames. The reason for that is because price is below the pivots. Trend meter is red, pivots are angling down. We have that on the majority of the time frames here: 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, and the 4-hour time frame. Next up, we would look at the fundamentals. Fundamentals here are currently down 93 points. In order for it to be strong enough for us to really take advantage of it, we need this to be down 100 points. Right now, it's down 93 points, so it's currently bearish, but it's not very bearish. We want it to be very bearish before we take any types of entries here. Lastly, looking over here at retail sentiment. So this website over here is where I try to identify where the retail traders are trading. Typically, I want this to be above or below 60 to 65%. It's currently at 51%. So this says that 51% of retail traders are currently selling. Since there's not too much here, it's not going to be too much of a use for us, right? We need this to be very high because we want to do the opposite of everybody else. If everybody's selling, then I'm going to be looking to buy. If everybody's buying, I'm going to be looking to sell. But right now it's right down the middle. So it's not going to be useful for us right now specifically. So this here is not going to be useful for us with our bias analysis. Looking over here at the fundamentals, you can see it's bearish right now. So this is going to be indicating that we should be looking for sells. And then lastly, over here, the technicals are also bearish. So if you have two confirmations and confluences indicating a bearish bias, then you probably want to look for some sells. So for one over here, confirm overall bias, it's a sell. Confirm a valid momentum signal, it's a valid signal right there. Confirm prices below the pivots for a sell, and you would enter on the close of the candle. So if you would have entered right here, this would have been your full TP. So again, guys, I have a ton of strategies here. So if you guys want to learn the strategies, they're available to you. It's just up to your preference how you guys want to trade. Let's see what this is at. See what's going on over here. All right. Question from CJ. CJ is asking, what do you recommend for trade paralysis? If you have trade paralysis, I would recommend just opening a demo account and then just taking every trade that you're comfortable with, CJ. Trade paralysis, you get better from that if you're confident in your trading. The main reason a lot of people get trade paralysis is because they're not confident, right? They want to look at something and then they second guess their trade. Like they'll see a pivot scalp here and they're like thinking, okay, this is probably going to work. But then you think about all the worst case scenarios. So I think the best way to get past trade paralysis, or what people call analysis paralysis, right? Because you're just doing too much analysis. You're like, you have an entry here, but you're thinking too much about it. If that's a case where you guys get analysis paralysis, I would recommend just opening a demo account or even opening a small account and then just take a bunch of trades. When you start to see that your strategy works and it's very consistent, like how it's supposed to, then you're going to trust it. And you're just going to take the next entry without even really thinking about it. So just, keep that in mind, guys. That's why I have requirements here, because usually if the requirements are met, it's like, okay, the strategy is probably going to hit. But then I do a secondary analysis sometimes to confirm, okay, is this going to be a quality entry or whether it's going to be a risky one? So that's my advice. If you guys have analysis paralysis, it's really just being in line with your strategy. Because if you don't trust it, you're not going to take it. You're just going to think, okay, this is probably not going to hit. And you're going to think of the worst case scenario, like, okay, I should probably just skip this because of this. And then it's going to hit your TP and you're going to be super upset. And it's just going to be an ongoing process where you miss a trade because you analyze it differently, and then it hits, and then you miss the next one, and then you take the third one, and then that one loses. And then now you're really pissed because you had like 3 wins or 2 wins, and then you took the only losing one. Yeah, as I said, whenever I have paralysis, I just go lower on my lot size and see how it'll go for a few times, and it just goes away, comes back after sometimes. Yeah, it's because you're not like, it's usually when you're confident with your position, right? Essa, you feel confident, then it goes away. You just keep trading normally, and then you start to get scared again. You start to lower your lot size. So a lot of different ways to do it. But yeah, Essa's way is probably a better way to do it. It's just, I know people that trade and they're just what Essa said is not going to work for most people, because they're going to take a lower lot size. They're going to win a trade, and then they're going to take a random trade next, and they're going to blow the account. I've seen it so many times. Look like, okay, I'm going to take a 0.1 just to test this out, and then it works out, and then after they take some random trade with a full lot size and they blow their account. It's like, it's not even following the strategy anymore. And you guys have probably seen that in different groups too. You know, I've worked with so many people in the past, so it's like a lot of these problems aren't brand new. Yeah, as I said, it's happened to him before. Yeah, no, it's happened to me too, guys. Don't worry. A lot of this stuff that's happened to you guys, it's happened to me in the past. It's just I've been trading for so long that it doesn't happen anymore. All right, we currently have a higher high here that's currently pending, guys. If this closes, then price may come back down. So we got a higher high right there. We get a sell signal that breaks and closes past the pivots 1 and 2. Then that will technically be a high level momentum scalp, and I'll analyze it to see if it's worth taking. But you know, we're not going to force anything here. If it's a good trade, great. If it's not, we're not going to force it. There's no need for us to force anything. All right, so this might not be useful to us. All right, so unfortunately, guys, I don't know if this is going to be useful to us, because price looks like it already closed past pivots 1 and 2. It did off this candle right here. So we can't have price breaking and closing past the pivots. What I want to see here now is I want price to push up a little bit higher, actually. So I want price to push up a little bit higher, break and close past the the structure over here, and then come back down. Because if it breaks and closes past the structure, it's going to establish a new higher high. And we need a new higher high before we can start taking anything else. All right, here's some profits for Maria today. Maria's currently up 368 for the day. Nice work, Maria. Solid profits for the day. Here's Kip for the day. Kip is currently up 2,266 for the day, all wins. Nice work, Kip. All right, so I think that's it for right now. Let me see if there's anything else for us to take. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Just a reminder, guys, no mentoring session for today. I'm still in the process of moving, and I also need to see Lakers game 4, because it's going to be Lakers in 9 for this series, as you guys know. Man, I can't believe they lost the last game. So I gotta make sure they win this game. So we got I just got a lot of stuff to do today, guys. So, jokes aside, I'll send a poll in the group, guys, and then you guys can vote for when you guys want to have it. I'll work my schedule around you guys. So just looking at my calendar right now, it looks like the mentoring session, I mean, I can pretty much have it any other day except for today. Yeah, basically any other day except for today. So I will I'll post that in the polls. But right now, actually, I'll just put the poll up right now. Yeah, because I have like a team coming over to mount all my TVs up, so it's gonna be super loud later, so I can't do today too. So all right, let's see when to post. Tuesday, yeah. And if this time doesn't work for you guys, just let me know. I'm fine with changing the time too. I know not everyone can make that time, so it's all good. So I'll just put Tuesday, but I mean, it's up to you guys. Whatever you guys prefer. All right, so there's not too much going on with US30, as you guys can see. Price is just going sideways, so there's not really much going on here. There's not too much for us to take. Liquidity is pretty much knocked out already, so it's way down here. If it does correct back down, there's more liquidity down here, but I don't think this will be hit during the live session. If anything, this might get hit tomorrow during our next live trading session, and up here as well. There's more liquidity up here, but it's so far away that I'm not expecting it to get hit by this live session. But you guys can see the volatility starting to die down, right? It's just squeezing. The reason for this squeeze right here is because the Fed's going to be speaking soon. So if you guys remembered, we have the Fed speaking over here at 7:50. So I'm probably going to wrap this up soon, guys. We have the Fed speaking over here at 7:50. Yeah, we have Fed member Barkin speaking and then Fed member Bostic. So probably not a good time to trade because when they start speaking, the market might start to move a little crazy. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Price is starting to squeeze right here. It's going to break out at some point, I believe, like closer to the Fed speaking. But I'm not going to take any trades during that time. You're just gambling at that point. So I don't recommend anybody trade during the Fed speech. There's Fed speeches all morning today. We have Fed member Barkin speaking at 7:50. We have Fed member Bostic speaking right after. And then we have Fed member Daly speaking right after that. So we got 3 Fed members speaking right after each other. Not really a good time to trade. I wouldn't recommend risking it. It's just not worth the risk, especially for me. I already locked in 6,000 for the day. I'm not going to go and, I'm not going to blow this trade like gambling on a trade that I'm not even comfortable with. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. If not, it looks like we're going to wrap this up soon. I know typically I stay on until 8, guys, but there's no reason for us to just hang around. As you guys can see, price is just going sideways. Not a good time to trade. You don't want to trade during this type of period because price can break out in either direction. And the last thing you want to do is take a dumb trade and then take a loss for no reason, right? Today's Monday. You have a whole week ahead of you guys. No need to force anything today. Rinse and repeat tomorrow. Make that profit today. Come back tomorrow, make another profit. Come back Wednesday, make another profit. Thursday, do the same thing. And then by Friday, you're going to be up like, 10%. So if you guys are doing a challenge, you'll probably pass your challenge by this week. If that's the case. Rick mentioned, you rock, Sean. This is seriously the best training I've seen since I started 2 years ago. Thank you. Definitely, Rick. And I'm glad to have you here with us. So, if you have any questions, pop your questions in the chat and I'll give you guys whatever advice that I can give you. No problem. Ben Hartwig. Hussein said this was a great and informative session. Sean, learned a lot. Yeah, definitely, Hussein. And this is like your first or second day here. So it's all good. You're going to be learning a lot across the next couple months. So yeah, if you ever have any questions, Hussein, don't feel afraid to ask, because I know a lot of people are scared to ask, and I know a lot of people have questions, but you could be the voice for them. If they're too afraid to ask questions, I'm pretty sure you're asking a question that they have as well. Yeah, Essa said, yeah, better call it a day. Andrew said, got my target for the day, been stuck on this 405 for an hour. Multi-fatal car crash. See y'all tomorrow. I think it's crazy. Yeah, I don't miss driving in traffic like that, Andrew. But yeah, I'll see you back here tomorrow. But all right, guys, it's 7:38 right now. The Fed's going to be speaking in about in about 10 minutes. So you want to be careful trading. Price is going sideways right here. And let me just mark up when the Fed is speaking. The Fed is speaking right here at 7:50, and they're also going to be speaking here at 8:05. So you want to be careful around these periods because you might see a spike in price. So when price gets to this point right here, don't be surprised if price spikes up or spikes down. And when it spikes right back up and it spikes right back down, because the Fed's going to be speaking. So, all right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. If you guys have any questions, feel free to email me. You guys can email me, Sean@KodiKaiTrades.com, or you guys can also message me on Telegram @KodiKaiTrades. It's probably going to be easier to just get in touch with me through Telegram, because I'm always on here and I'm on it on my phone. So just message me on Telegram if you guys have any questions. We have some more profits here from CSIC before we wrap it up. 5,419 on his first account, all wins. Here is CSUK's second account, total profit of 2,332 for the day, or sorry, 2,352 for the day, all wins as well. And then CSUK's third account, total profit of 2,300 for the day, all wins. So, all right, guys, those are all the profits for the day. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here tomorrow for the next live session. So.